Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere Season 2. But before that, we were talking about interesting life experiences and life finding a way for yours truly. And then, interesting Christmas movies. If you want to hear about that interesting conversation, you can join us live at twitch.tv/featured anime podcast. Or if you want to hear the pre-show, you can help support us and help us grow at the exact same time. You can go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast, $1 a month to get you access to that bonus content and more. And of course, if you want to help support us through other means, you can do some wonderful shopping at shop.featuredanimepodcast.com. And you can also go to Tokyo Treat, use our affiliate link, use coupon code featured anime, get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, they are delicious. They are worth it. I highly recommend it. And now onto the meat and brotatoes. Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere Season 2 is 13 episodes long. It came out July 2012, ran all the way through September 2012. Producer for it is Bandai Visual Atlantis, Sony, just to name a couple of them. Studio for it is Sunrise. Source is a light novel. The genres for it are action, adventure, fantasy, and sci-fi and ecchi. So Horizon in the Middle of Nowhere Season 2 basically continues off exactly where Season 1 left off on, which was kind of a turnoff for me for how Season 1 ended. Season 1 ended, Season 2 began with basically their whole city being attacked by Tres Español or España, Tres España, which is the Spanish version of the Musashi floating island area. And their goal is to try and make it through the area, make it along the way, and make it to England. And then from there, build ties, build up their forces, and then also fight off Tres España, while also at the exact same time going around gaining the armors of deadly sin for Horizon. Because when Horizon gains those armors, she will reaccount and remember, or not remember, but basically regain her emotions. And that's the main premise of them going around trying to get all those armors. Now, Rick.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
Why the hell was Tori Aoi running around naked all the time in this second season?
It wasn't all the time. He had seaweed in one episode.
And he was clothed in another episode, if I remember correctly, yes. So
yeah, no, it was stupid. It was a gag.
Like they ended with him in season 1 being naked. They started
in season 1 with him being naked.
They didn't begin in season 1 with him being naked.
Oh yeah, sorry, season 2. Sorry.
Yeah, season 2, yes. Season 1, no. Season 2, yeah. They ended season 1 with him being naked. They began season 2 with him being naked. He stayed naked a majority of the time. Granted, the large focal point, the larger focus for him wasn't. He wasn't there a majority of the time. So, I mean, like, I get it. He didn't have major amount of dialogue, but at the exact same time, he had more than enough dialogue to where he remained prevalent throughout the entire series. Throughout the entire season.
See, you and I had a slightly different idea of his role, let's call it, because my impression from season 1 was he's, the main love interest, and then he's now going to go on this quest, and amazing things were going to happen, and he was regulated to what is essentially a gag, a Deus Ex gag. And think about it. The one time he's actually useful is when he's standing in the wrong spot and someone grabs his dick.
Punches him. They punch him.
No, this one wasn't a punch. Like episode 3 or something like that. In the middle of an attack, one of the the priestess reaches for her weapon and picks up another weapon.
Oh,
and then punches him.
I mean, it's his Excalibur. To quote Goose in our chat, it is his holy staff. It is his Excalibur, which actually Excalibur plays a prevalent role in this season. In this season. So this one, while the first season played some roles in reality, real people and things like that, season 2 definitely does the exact same thing, except they lean heavier into it. Like William Shakespeare for one.
Yep.
King Arthur, or not King Arthur, rather. Mary, Bloody Mary. You had Henry VIII. They lean more into folklore, and they lean more into religious. No, not religious. I would say kind of fantasy folklore. Just really kind of fantasy folklore.
Yeah. Basically, what they did is they took prominent names that anybody from England would know. Any child from England would be able to recognize the stories, if you will.
Anyone familiar with history, too, in all honesty, a majority of them. Well, if you're familiar, even lightly familiar, if you went to high school and you don't know these names, come on.
Yeah, but well, as I say, even before that, but
yeah.
More specific, the reason why I specifically say England is because they were English they're English history, English historical figures. Right. Whereas in the previous season, we had like the president, pope, something or other. So they were throwing titles at people to see if they would stick because that sounds powerful.
I mean, they leaned heavily onto the president pope more so for the Catholic or Italian version of it, because that's where a lot of them were. They were Italian, and it's like, you got, Cathedral City.
But even he played such a minor role in this season.
He did, because it wasn't. So, anyways, I'm not gonna go down that path. Anyways,
okay.
They had their own point, right? Their own pivotal role to play in this. So they leaned heavily into it. Now, my thing is these are ships that are flying in the air.
Yep.
That are flying in the air.
Drifting at one point in time.
Tokyo drifting, one might say.
Yeah, I was going to say new attack style.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to be like flying in the air. And yet, at the exact same time, they are acting like they are sailing a ship.
Yeah. Got rough winds ahead, just saying.
Rough waters.
Yeah. Huh? No, it's weird because, yes, they were supposed to be flying through the air, not through space, through maybe an upper atmosphere. So maybe maneuvering is different, but to be able to be like, I'm gonna hit the e-brake and do a 360 drift around a continent also floating in the air, seems a bit excessive. And also firing, because of course you got used to the inertia. Certain people got used to the inertia. Certain people got used to the shift in gravity, and they're able to walk and run and jump and fight like nobody's business. And there are others who are waving like flags in a wind, just hanging on for dear life. And then there's others yet still just sitting off of the bow, where the feet are just dangling off into the abyss, being like, "Hey, you guys are doing great." Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, not only that, right? They also, while they were acting like they were sailing, and they had that whole viewpoint of them flying through the air or sailing through the air, they also didn't stop them from doing non-sailing maneuvers. Like, I don't know, having a conveyor belt that goes over and under and back and forward, just firing constantly. Like,
Aren't you the one that keeps telling me to stop bringing logic into this?
No, I said nothing for this one.
So you get to pick and choose. I got you.
No,
I mean, hey, if they get to pick and choose, so should you should be able to as well.
no. My thing is right. They were acting like they're sailing, and how the wind and everything's like floating around amongst everything, right? And how they move through everything, it made it feel like you could not, right? There was no up, there was no down. It was just static. That was it. It was sailing. And then you got to a point to where that's not so anymore. It's like, at this point, it's like, oh, we can just normally sail a ship like you normally would sail a ship, except for the fact now we're going to just randomly enact a, different access because we can. Why not?
I'm not seeing a problem here. Genuine. I'm not seeing any major issues. So what are you trying to get at, sir?
All the issues and problems that I saw there with it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, it's not that I don't focus on like I'm not trying to bring in logic. I'm hoping for consistency. I
get where you're coming from. Okay. I understand it and I appreciate it.
Like if at the very beginning they were going up and down, left and right, barrel roll, do a barrel roll all the way through, I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't bat an eye at them like doing a conveyor belt type thing, except through the entire thing, like the whole thing, they're like, hey, there is no like up or down. There's just like forward and back unless we're docked. Mm-hmm. And that's the impression they gave. That's the motion that they moved with. Not so apparently. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can take an entire armada and do a flip if you want to. We're going to go invisible and then do a flip. Baby. Do a barrel roll. Why not?
All I'm saying it doesn't seem to be a problem.
Right. Well, I mean, like if they had Star Fox there, things would have been much better for them.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, the main story for this one, while it does kind of focus on Tori and Horizon a little bit, and they do play parts in there, they do play their points in it. They're not the main focus, right? You have other people that are focusing on it. They are kind of driving the story forward, and it's no longer just Tori and Horizon. It is now more so everyone else. And this one, I feel like they kind of lean more towards what's his name?
The ninja dude.
Tenzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely plays more of a role on this one than any other character. While they do focus on the other ones, like you have Honda who is in this one. She does play a pivotal point of it. You have Mary, you have Kimmy, you have everyone else. They're kind of all like supporting characters, and they're not as prevalent in this one as they were in the first one. Not that they were, majorly present in it. They're just even more less so in the second
more
season.
side characters. They were swept to the side.
Yes.
So one good note of a few, but one good note about this particular season, I feel like we've got a more worthy focal point, a more worthy main character, because the ninja is, what was his name again? Tenzo?
Yes.
Okay. I like him. He has a very good story arc. He already starts off being likable, being helpful, being needed, being of assistance, very shy and stuff like that. And you have this whole beautiful story that focuses on him and Mary, potentially Mary, maybe Mary's twin, maybe not, that kind of thing. And it was the story we deserved in season 1. But my biggest problem is I feel like it was cut and paste. The story, yes, the main characters did change. Yes, there are new abilities and whatnot, but season 1 and season 2, you can overlap them. And aside from the nakedness, it's a very similar arc. Season 1 felt fresh, felt new, felt good, felt, exciting, which is why I gave it such a high score. This one, it felt less imaginative, only because I've seen season one. If I didn't see season one, this is phenomenal. It's great. The action, spot on. The the plot, let's call it, spot on. As CJ would say. And it was objectively a good season with a good story, but because I've already essentially seen it with different players, it felt stale. And honestly, if there's a season 3 coming out, which it looks like they set up for, I'm not excited to see it. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't. I don't see myself watching it, with the exception of having somebody request it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something I would physically go out and be like, hey, I saw season 1, I'm looking for it. It's no Shield Hero, you know? It's no Solo Leveling.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because if you take it independent of season 1, it's good. It's objectively almost great. I just wish they did more to separate.
Right. Know? I mean, like, it's kind of hard to separate it out when you're having when you have a very peculiar and very poignant story that you're trying to follow through with. Also, for the Brad who did recommend this to us, there is supposed to be a season 3. They publicly stated that they wanted to do a season 3, but they are currently tied up in the Day A Live franchise, so they likely will not do it for the next few years. Unfortunately,
that might give enough time for me to not forget, but not remember. Does that make sense?
I mean, like, it's been 10 years more. It's been almost 12 years since season 2 came out.
Okay. So yeah, season 3 is probably not a thing that anybody's looking at.
I mean, like, not for anything remotely close right now.
Yeah. Weird question, because I don't think I missed it, but at the same time, I don't think I noticed it either. How many of the deadly sins were they able to recover and feed Horizon?
Just one.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not that they fed her, it's give her. And when she gets it, she's like, oh, I have to. Here's one of the problems, right? Here's one of the issues.
Lay it on me.
Right. She's like, oh, in order to use this, I have to unlock this emotion, right? Mm-hmm. Does that mean when she gets it, she has to unlock? That's when she can unlock the emotion. Yep. It looks like, to me, to be fair, in my ignorance, right? It looks like, because she's like, oh, this requires a level 3 and I have to unlock this emotion to be able to use this, right? Skipping level 2. She's like, I have to unlock this level 3 emotion and be whatever. You don't, I mean, like, to me, that feels like you don't have to have it to unlock the emotion. She just needs to unlock the emotion to use it.
Yes, but she also brought up a really good point of why they didn't look for it even more. And it is the fact that they're all negative emotions. Granted, horny, okay, maybe that's not negative, but it's not.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
We don't know that that's the emotion that she's going to unlock.
No, we don't. But I know that one of the weapons that in the season 1 he was trying to get a hold of was the horny weapon, because he was like, woo! But
you're talking about the weapon of lust.
The weapon of lust, yeah.
Yes. However, again, that does not mean it's going to be a negative emotion that she has to unlock to be able to use it. Right.
Well, so what I understood with that, I could be wrong, but from what I understood, if I remember correctly, what she said was, why am I going to find all of these weapons? All of the emotions are negative. I'm just going to feel bad. And then they bring up the idea that there are good weapons too, or they'll give her good emotions and she'll be able to feel a whole spectrum, good and bad, and stuff like that. And it didn't get it too much into detail, but it just, I don't know. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed the idea behind it, because then they brought up a whole bunch of other potential future big bads or future sources of power. But then again, they walked away, for lack of a better word, of that idea for other things such as Excalibur.
Okay. So you're all like, well, why am I going to do this? It's just all going to make me feel bad. Right.
Yeah. That's almost a direct quote.
Okay. So, right. Which here's my question. One, it's not going to be all bad. It's not all negative. And the emotion she unlocks isn't a feel sad or feel bad emotion. She unlocks avarice, right?
Yep.
You know what avarice is?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up, to be perfectly honest.
Extreme greed. You're greedy. Avarice is greed, is a form of greed. That's why she said, are you going to be able to handle me with this emotion unlocked? Because I'll be really greedy. I'll have this emotion. She's going to be greedy. So it's not that she's going to have a bad or sad emotion. She's going to be like, oh, I want this, or I'm going to want that. She's going to have a new emotion. And this emotion just happens to be greed.
Okay. So my question is, do you think greed and to that extent is good?
Doesn't matter if it's good or not. Greed in general, right, is one of the 7 deadly sins. Avarice is the 7 deadly sins, right?
Yes.
Lust doesn't have to mean just sexual or being horny, right? There can be other forms of it, right? So it's not necessarily bad or negative emotions that you're going to be.
Yes.
Because slothfulness, again, that's not a negative emotion. It's you're lazy. You're just kind of wanting to laze about or relax. You want to when you're moving around, you want to saunter to an area. You want to lazily move about. That's not a negative emotion. That doesn't mean anything one way or the other.
But what I'm saying is, in the anime, it was specifically described as a negative emotion.
Right.
So it's not. It's not me.
Said, no, I'm saying she's saying that, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that. Tori, who's an idiot, doesn't understand it. Okay. But the facts of the matter is, after that, when she unlocks it, it's not, oh, I'm going to feel bad. It's like, hey, are you going to be able to handle me being greedy? Is her question.
Yeah.
Is her genuine question. It's like, are you going to be able to handle me being greedy? And it's not that your whole life you're greedy. It's not that you're going to be greedy in every aspect of your life. You can be greedy in one aspect. You can be slothful in one aspect. You can be lustful in one aspect.
It really depends on how they want to play it, because it could be if that's the only emotion that she has access to, then
she already unlocked this. She has 2 emotions already unlocked.
Okay. What was the first one? It was from season 1, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was from season 1. I can't remember what the first one was unlocked.
I don't think it was Wrath.
No, it was not. I don't believe it was Wrath. But I know that she unlocked it when she got the first mortal sin, armor of sin, deadly sin, from what's his face, from Teresa España, because he had a 7 deadly sin weapon, which is actually 8. There's actually 8 deadly sins, because you got to have one to rule them all.
Yeah, the one to rule them all.
Obviously, totally not a rip off of Lord of the Rings. Just gonna throw that out there again.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, though, so yeah, she has 2 of them.
Yeah, sorry.
And she doesn't unlock this. I mean, like, she obviously has the ability and opportunity to unlock more. Obviously, they make references and point out and look at other weapons and things like that are not just the deadly sins.
Yeah.
So which, I don't know. I mean, like, are they going to go like that full Lord of the Rings route? Are they going to just like, 7 to the dwarves, 9 rings to the realm of men, and 3 to the elves because they're long lived and wise and all that other stuff. And then she is obviously, the one that rules them all. And so, she's not going out there for just the 7. She's going out there for the other 12. On top of it,
Yeah.
I mean, like, is that what's going to happen? I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like we're going to have a full on Lord of the Rings aspect of this.
It's highly possible. But at the same time, like, it needs to actually happen. I don't see it happening.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, it could totally happen. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh God. So I'm reading. I tried looking up what possible emotions that were absorbed, and it's not really telling me. That being said, there are some spoilers that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Go figure.
So what you're saying is you didn't read the anime. You're looking at your cliff notes and you're trying to be careful about what you decide to talk about for the time traveling granddaughter. Is that it? Is that what we got going on?
If you want to go that route, yeah. I just Googled it. There's time travel here.
Obviously,
there's time travel. There's children. There's kids.
Obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, like that. I have no doubt of. I have no doubt of it.
It's timeline hopping. Like they pulled out all the stops.
Why not?
Yeah,
obviously, bro. Just roll with it.
No, I'm hopeful that they do not continue this series. Not because I think it's a bad series, but because according from what I just read, there's so much stuff that they can do wrong.
Yes, that is true. Goose in our chat says they pulled out all of Rick's fantasy. I mean, all the stops.
All the stops.
All the stops for all of them. Every last one.
Oh, love it. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. But you know, it's just. You ever seen something that's got just too much going on for it and it has no direction whatsoever?
I've seen a lot of movies and shows that are like that. So,
did you like any of them?
Yeah, as long as it's like entertaining to watch.
Okay, I can't identify that any that were entertaining to watch that were like that. To be honest.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we can. I'm pretty sure I can go back and look at the 280 something episodes that we've done for the animes that we've watched, where it's had no real direction, no viewpoints or anything like that. It's like, this was great. This was like a palette. Oh, Kaijo, whatever it was. Yeah, that one. No real point, no real direction, just fighting and nonstop. It's like you loved it. Like you loved it. You sandbagged that one so hard. You're like, it's a 4, but realistically, it's like an 8 for you. You loved it. You loved it. You just like you had to try and do something to save face. Is what you had to do.
That
you
must
did.
Be it. Must be.
100%. With as much praise as you did for that one. As much praise, you just like not a negative thing came out of your mouth that whole time. You're like, this is one of the greatest shows. It's so wonderful. It's amazing. It's hysterical. Has great plot. Emphasis on plot. It's like, it's like all this positive just like flown out of your mouth. Like nary a negativity at all. Like nowhere in sight. It's like, what is that? 20 miles away. Is that a negative thought? No, it's more positivity coming my way. What is it? I'm going to rate it a 4. Obviously, it's only a 4. It's like, whoa, bro.
Yeah.
It's just like Truck Kun came out of nowhere and hit me.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like it had a lot of good points, but again, because it went nowhere, it killed itself essentially as far as the score goes.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Why not? Goose says it was a 10 out of 10. Would lie to Jack again for a Rick rating. Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
10 out of 10 would lie.
Well, yep.
You guys are too much.
But I mean, it wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, this story was a cookie cutter. It's kind of back to the main topic at hand.
Back to why we're all here.
Right. Aside from the fact that Keijo for Rick is actually a 10 out of 10 for him.
No.
Sorry, 9 out of 10.
No, not even.
Go back to listen to it. Tell me after you go back and listen.
That's a 9 out of 10. Glass Lip is a solid 5.
Hey man, look, in Glass Lip, I would like find 5 episodes that I would have to compress the amount of positivity I usually say and package it and send it to you. for you for the amount of positivity you flung at me for Keijo. All right. And you rated a 4. Okay. Back to the actual show hand. God. Okay. This was not a great show. It was a cookie cutter of a show. The plot, to Rick's point, was very cookie cutterish, right? It is, you literally took the plot, I want to say, of the second half of season 1, right after they were done recapping the beginning multiple times, took it out, threw this in there, and just elongated it, right? Just stretched that bad boy out for 13 episodes is what they did, right? So you literally took the exact same plot and just like, hey, let's make it 13 episodes and just change character names. I mean, like, granted, they did have William, or not William, but they had Shakespeare. That
was decent.
Yeah. They had a different viewpoint on the fighting. They had unique magic come out this time. I mean, like, they referenced a lot of the older ones, so I mean, like, it didn't really matter. They played heavily on the money portion of it, though.
Yeah, they did.
And the whole bartering thing, it seemed like he was going down, and then he's like, no, in fact, you know what? We'll do you a favor. We'll allow you to give us more time. And he's like, aha, you tricked me. What happened? Oh, no. Is that what happened? I mean, like, they do a duck season, rabbit season for that entire episode? Because that's what I got. Like it. Okay, that's exactly, in my mind, what happened was they duck seasoned that. They duck season, rabbit seasoned it. It's like he starts off low, he goes lower, he goes even lower. He's like, no, you have to give us more time. No, I'm going to give you lower time. No, I'm going to give you higher time. No, I'm going to do this. And then all of a sudden it just flips. He's like, aha, I got you. Now I get almost a full 2 weeks, homie. What are you going to do about that now? It's duck season.
It's just frustrating because they could have done more. They could have done better. And it just, they took the campy route. They took the easy way out that lacked any real substance.
Yes.
And like there was only one instance in here where I couldn't, well, there was more than one, but one main instance in here where I couldn't have the screen around my nephews. And it was unfortunate. Not unfortunate. They do a nip slip in one scene, in one episode. And,
that's more accurate. One episode. It's not just one small scene. I mean, like, it was unusual because they also at the exact same time covered it for part of it too. And then that was it. They were like, it's whatever after that point. Like, okay.
Like, it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not, after the entire first season of careful lighting, and then the first half of this season of also careful lighting and interesting positioning, it just boom, like, oh, well then. So that is allowed. Okay, that's odd.
I mean, like, obviously it's allowed. I mean, I would be more surprised if they didn't have a bath scene with the main male character literally running around 75% of the time naked.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh man, I'm getting roasted in the chat for Glass Slip.
Indeed. If you want to catch that wonderful entourage of love that Rick is getting.
Oh, love? This is what you call it, love?
I call it love.
Yeah.
I call it love.
Yeah,
I call it
you don't
love.
hate me.
No.
Yeah, this is love.
Twitch.
I don't want to know what it is.
Right. Twitch.tv/featured anime podcast. Mondays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us for all the love.
Oh, no, this is how much Goose loves us. He goes, Glass Slip was episode 19, by the way. So on Spotify.
On Spotify, yes, please. And leave us a rating. It does help us out. And let us know how we're doing, you know. In fact, go to featuredanimepodcast.com. All the links and wonderful stuff is there available for you, you know. It's anyways, we'll continue on to the show. Brad, honestly, Brad, though, Thank you for recommending this. It was a okay show. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
I mean, I gave it an 8 for season 1 because of how unique it was and how decent I thought it was.
Right.
Yes, it was kind of campy, but again, if I didn't see season 1, I'd probably be rating this one higher.
Right. So, I feel like I don't have too much more I can honestly say on this, man. Honestly, I don't. I feel like we're beating a dead horse, and we're getting so distracted by everything else. Honestly, this episode, this second season, honestly, was not that great of a show. You're not really missing too much of it between the first and second season. Second season is just basically a repeat of the first season where they recount for everything, change characters. You have unique character names that are in there, referencing back to actual people. How they approach certain fights and everything that's going on is really unique and interesting. However, at the exact same time, you're just kind of Now I get to kind of give it a positive spin for the cookie cutter-esque type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they play it out, how it's referenced, and everything that is happening is meant to happen because they are trying to reenact and repeat history, right? And that is also a theme that is commonly stated throughout the second season, where they are reenacting or repeating history. Oh, I guess the history or timeline will not change. This is exactly what happened again. There's nothing that's going to deviate from this again. So it's like kind of going back to what you said when you read your cliff notes there, Rick. Time travel does play a part in it, multiple timelines and everything like that. Like, yeah, I mean, like I honestly, I could 100% see that just from this episode, right? Where they talk about, reenacting history, repeating what needs to be done, playing everything out faithfully, or doing whatever it is, or fill in the blank and having it go through everything else at the exact same time. Like, I can totally see that. Right. So the question is, though, like, should they ever come out with a season 3? Will they maintain the let's break tradition and break out of the cookie mold, right? And make season 3 more unique and endearing, I might say? Or are they going to maintain that cookie cutter-esque type thing? And should a season 3 ever come out, I would actually be happy to see how it plays out. But alas, we're not going to get a season 3.
Yeah. I mean, for all those points, I do agree. That was unique enough. Like I said, if I hadn't seen season 1 so recently, let's say so recently, I might have had a higher score. I'm not going to go super low, but because like I did enjoy the different abilities. Like there was two writing abilities going against each other that basically shaped the entirety of 2 or 3 different episodes.
Yeah,
and I thought it was ingeniously done. And the fight scenes were still quite entertaining. It just wasn't what I was looking for, Didn't live up to my expectation.
Right. Okay. So on a scale of up to 10, sir, how would you rate this?
I'm going incredibly middling. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Half marks. And I'm not going to go any higher for everything I've said in the last 5 minutes, where it just didn't wow me. It's a good show if you didn't see season 1 or if you waited a month. So it's not so fresh in your mind. But it just, you could overlay season 1 and season 2, and the timeline seems exact. You took way too long trying to save 2 people. So
okay.
Yeah, that's where I go.
All right. For me, I'm going 4. I got to give it a 4 simply because, one, as stated, they literally, it feels like they took the second half of season 1 and just stretched it out, changed character names and moved on. They kind of ran its course with the gag, left you with questions you never got answers to, and made certain things just kind of ridiculous, right? Like,
yeah,
what was the point of him honestly running around naked the whole time? Like, what was the genuine point of that, right? Why was he like literally running through the whole series naked? Like, why? The other thing is that I didn't really care for was how very predictable the story was because of how much it was like the first season. Like if I did not watch season 1 and then immediately watch season 2, I feel like this would probably be 2 or 3 points higher at most. At most, but even still, like if I came on the flip side of it, if I had not watched it back to back and I came into season 2 the way I did, I would have been completely lost and had to go, oh, what happened at the end of season 1? I mean, like, why are they in the middle of this battle? Had I waited, right? So it's like kind of a catch-22. They didn't end it in such a way where you could easily pick it up. You literally, how they ended it season 1 and how they began season 2, you had to watch it back to back for that continuation. Like there is no deviation for it. So that's another reason why I'm going with a 4. All right. Do you have any other points or viewpoints?
Yeah, I had you brought something up that I didn't even think about, but it makes so much sense. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. It makes no sense why they didn't reuse it. Do you remember in the almost finale of season 1, he ends up being a battery of unlimited power?
Yes.
How come they didn't do that again?
Because he didn't need to. Obviously.
Okay, I'll take it.
Obviously.
Didn't need to. I like it.
Yes.
It just seems like a Deus Ex Machina that you could have exploited almost indefinitely and decided not to because you wanted to see him naked, I guess.
I mean, like when you are going through that level amount of power,
it burns all your clothes away. It makes sense.
Obviously. I mean, like, especially with fiery passion in your eyes.
Yeah.
You can't forget about that, man. You can't forget about the fiery passion burning in your eyes.
Man.
No?
No.
No?
Oh, goodness.
Fine. Be that way. No. I didn't want you to do that anyways. I didn't want, whatever.
So is next week my turn?
Yes. Next week is your turn, unless you want me to choose from our list of
So there was one anime that I brought up.
Okay.
That I thought would be interesting. Criminy, you're gonna have to give me just a second. I gotta find it because
Are you talking about the healing magic?
I don't know. Give me 1 second. I wrote it down. I'll be 1 second. There it is. The Ghost Stories dubbed. Specifically dubbed because it is rated as the worst anime ever. And from what I understand, the dialogue is hilarious because it doesn't follow the script.
Okay.
So I have high hopes for it.
Sure. Okay. So we're gonna watch Ghost Stories. Obviously dubbed if we can.
Yes.
Hopefully they didn't change too much of it.
They changed so much of it.
In fact, I don't. Just to clarify, I just checked Crunchyroll, which we do have an affiliate link for you in our show notes, where you can go and get yourself a trial subscription. And if you want to go to their store, we have an affiliate link for that. Get 15% off. Why not use that affiliate link? Get yourself 15% off your first order to Crunchyroll, and it helps us out, helps support us, help us grow. Looks like it's only available dubbed.
Okay.
So that answers that. We watching the dubbed, baby. All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. If you feel like we did this episode too much justice, not enough justice, plain old got everything wrong, got something wrong, everything wrong, let us know. Contact information is in the show notes. You can also go to our website, featuredanimepodcast.com, and contact us through there. If you want to help support us through other means, you can go to featuredanimepodcast.com for all the information. Shop.featuredanimepodcast. If you want to buy yourself some swanky swag, patreon.com/featuredanimepodcast and get yourself some bonus content. as well, starting at $1 a month. And of course, if you want to join us live, twitch.tv featured anime podcast, Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we live stream these episodes, where you can come in, join, hang out, talk, haggle us both, poke fun at us, just in general, have a great time. And don't forget about Tokyo Treats. We have an affiliate link for you in the show notes. And if you use coupon code Featured Anime, you get $5 off that first box. And trust me, those treats are so delicious and so worth it. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.